Welcome to True Jamaica Buzz, news and entertainment with a buzz. First thing that is popping in the news is a very disturbing video that has been making its round over social media. And this is based on an interview that was done by a mother of a 6-year-old little picnic that was touched up actually penetrated by 11-year-old picnic at the same school, Jesse Paul Primary School, somewhere in a Kingston there. Now, based on what this mother said, she's not getting the full cooperation or what she expected from the school. The school is trying to downplay the whole thing. The school is trying to tell her that do not report it to the media. Just let the child live it out. Everything is going to be A-OK. And just for good measures, that child, 11-year-old that touched up your 6-year-old, penetrated a little picnic. He will not be charged because he is a minor. So people, I want you to take a look to the edited version of that interview that was done by TVJ News, and then I'll give my piece.
To protect the child, we have distorted her mother's voice. We will call the woman Latoya. Latoya, a victim of rape herself, was petrified when she learned on March 11 that her 6-year-old daughter was sexually assaulted by an 11-year-old boy at school. The incident happened at the Jesse Paul Primary School in a classroom. Latoya has since moved her child to another school. Latoya says her daughter was approached by the boy she had never spoken to before after school while she was at the pavilion awaiting the driver to take her home.
And then the little boy asked her, has anyone ever touched you on the vagina before? And she said no. And then after that, he dragged my child. So he dragged the child and then took her to a classroom that is far away where no one could see him. And he opened the door and the girl and took her in there.
She says the school showed her CCTV video of the boy leading her daughter to the classroom where the alleged sexual act took place. She says the video also showed her daughter running from the classroom approximately 6 minutes later. Latoya says her daughter explained to a Sissoko representative that the boy penetrated her and that he only released her from the classroom because she promised not to tell what he had done to her. The child also said when she went back to await her driver, the boy came asking if she wanted something milky to drink, and when she refused, he offered to buy her a juice instead. In a meeting with the boy's parents, school representatives, and the police, Latoya says the boy told them he heard her daughter talking to her friends about sex, so he pulled her away to teach her about good touch and bad touch. Latoya says she took her daughter to Sissoko.
The person that I went to at Sissoko, that person basically told me that nothing much will become of the situation because they're both minors. That was what being said to me. So I away because going there, you're going there to get justice. Everybody keeps referring you to Sissoko. And then for them to say something like that, I feel a bit, emotional.
Latoya says there are reasons to believe the boy had done something similar to another child.
And during the process of talking to the police at the school, they asked him, have you ever done this before to another child? And he said, yes, I have.
The mother says she's not satisfied with the measures taken by the school and Ministry of Education.
The only thing that I'm being told is he is a minor, he cannot be charged. The school has not taken any disciplinary action against the child. They told me that he will need counseling. They will put him in black and white and they will have somebody monitoring him and he's not allowed to do extra lesson. When I went to the Ministry of Education, they said to me that the school is a good school and they would not want me to give up my child's space. I went to a meeting with the board and the only thing I took away from the meeting was basically do not tell the media. Try to allow the child to live in the moment and for her to forget about it.
Now, the 6-year-old is displaying signs of trauma as a result of the incident.
She's not able to sleep, she's not eating well, she's worried about me, I'm worried about her. She has started counseling on Friday.
We reached out to the school officials at Jesse Paul who told us they did not wish to comment on the matter at this time. as it's being investigated by the police.
So, people, you heard exactly what the mother had to say, and the voice was edited for obvious reasons, security reasons. Just imagine you as a parent. You're a little pitney, 11, 6-year-old, sorry. Send your little child to school, you figure, say, the school is a safe space. And then you get news, you hear, say, a next person touch up your little 6-year-old. That child is 6 or 5 years older than your child. Does not really make a difference of the age. That child that is 6 is going to be scarred for life. You then get to watch the very disturbing video of this boy leading your child to a classroom. 6 minutes later, the child runs out of that classroom. You know within yourself, based on the physical evidence, based on the medical report, exactly what took place, based on conversations you had with that child. So you know within yourself what that child went through. As a parent, just imagine how you would feel. You then hear that this child, the 11-year-old, how the conversation was that him claims him hear the little 6-year-old talk to some other friends about sex. So he wanted, this is his excuse, his alibi. He wanted to show her what is good touch and what is bad touch. That is his explanation that he gave to the school and I guess the investigation from Sissoko or whomever they are called. He then, after his deeds, offered to buy her some milky drinks. She declined and him buy her some sweet drinks or something like this. When he was asked, I guess in the presence of his own parents, if he had done this before, this was not his first time. Now, people, we should not be surprised, not based on his age, based on his deeds, that this youth is no normal 11-year-old. This dude falls in the category of a monster. This dude at 11 falls in the category of a serial jump over fence. Monster. So we have to ask the question, how did this child get like this? Is it something that he saw in the home? Is it parents that are doing all sorts of stuff and saying all sorts of stuff in the presence of these children? And sometimes you can come from a very functional home and still do dysfunctional stuff. But the most part is that you're from a very dysfunctional home where these parents are acting in a manner that is inappropriate. Whatever the circumstances are, at 11 for you to be doing stuff like this, that means that this is something that he's probably not done just once. This is something that he has been doing to other children in the school. So other parents of little girl picnic at that school should make sure that them do proper investigation, due diligence, check them picnic and ask them if they have ever had any sorts of encounter with this little monster, in which I am going to blame the parents. The youth is a monster. I don't think that there is no redemption for him. But of course, you're going to have the sympathizers in the comment section and say, well, him little and him young. No, people. Actions like these, like me say, actions like these deserve actions that are on par with the action. That means that if he move like a monster, he should be treated likewise. What is even worse is that he probably get a little suspension, but he's not kicked out of the school. And even worse, he cannot be charged because he is in the category of a minor. Well, hear what? A minor do not do major stuff like this, and what he did is major. It is up there with the worstest of them, whether you are a juvenile or whether you are not. It is gross, it is despicable, it is unheard, well, not unheard of, because we say Jamaica. So what makes it worse is that the school, they are mum, they are not talking to the parents, and they are advising the parents not to go to the media, so therefore keep it hush-hush because everything is going to be A-okay. The girl is going to grow it out. People, I doubt that is a fact. People, may just show you the very sick mentality that exists in a Jamaica, and this is yet an next perfect example. point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, it seems as if these gangsters that are roaming the street of Jamaica think that is a same old same. Does not realize that, listen, things have changed drastically for the worse for them, for the better for Jamaica. Meaning that the police is on a wipeout eradication squad 2.0. The latest person, I am not going to say victim to fall prey or fall at the hands of the police, is a 39-year-old man known as Corey Rowe, known as Rasta in the streets. Rasta is said to be a very major player in the Elbow Gang. They are from Central Village. However, he was taken out in a Kasha Park. The police report stated that they went on a warrant of death looking for Rasta. Rasta was about to get grilled. Rasta was about to get taken out after. In a confrontation with the police, of course, he got the shitty end of the stick. They recovered a fire piece, went to his house and recovered in excess of 100 rounds of ammunition. Based on the information, it is said that he attempted to flee, jump in a car, get boomy, crash the vehicle in some sorts of wall, some sorts of ditch. The police then put it on him, took him out. When they went to his house, they found in excess of 150 rounds of ammunition. People, this is what we call open and shut case. This should have been closed casket. The fact that you were wanted, the fact that you confronted the police in a shootout. This would make you a likely candidate for death. No sorts of saving you, no wasting no taxpayers' money. Don't pass go, don't collect $100, $200, go straight to hell. Such is the case as it pertains to Rasta. So within that same 24 hours, the police was in Buff Bay. Buff Bay is in Portland, where it is said that the police went to execute an ex-warrant of death at about 8 p.m. They were looking for an individual known as USAIN Royal, 30-year-old. The funny thing is that Mr. USAIN Royal was just locked up for the murder of an individual back in March. However, he was out reporting on condition of bail. However, he did not get to live too long. After he left that police premises, he was taken out, blazed up a couple of times in the upper body, in the face. They wanted to make sure that whomever he had taken away, this was some sort of reprisal. When it comes to Rasta and when it comes to Mr. Royal, both of them have extensive criminal records, but both of them were given an opportunity by these sympathetic judges, by this lapsing system that we have in Jamaica that are letting out the same individuals that are committing most of the crimes that we see in Jamaica. Now, people, based on what we see going on, the very good trend for Jamaicans, concerned citizens, is that most of these people, whenever they get bail, whenever they are out on condition of bail, they do not seem to last very long. So we have to wonder if the rationale by these judges is to let out these people and make the street deal with them, because we say, if the police is not dealing with them, then the street is going to deal with them. So I say this to say that while we do not mind the favorable end results that reach these criminal elements, meaning that either the police or the opposition take them out, we have to seriously consider, how is it that these judges make these decisions that we seem to be boneheaded? How is it that certain individuals that are known criminal violence producers are actually out on the streets? I am going to give you a case study of a lady known as Dana Warren. Dana Warren is one of those ladies that was a facilitator, supporter of Mr. Othniel Thickman. She was one of those persons that was making all sorts of threats on social media, saying that the police that took out Othniel, Mr. Thickman, they were going to get it too. There's going to be reprisal. So I am going to let the professional journalists on TVJ or RJR News explain in intricate details what Ms. Warren was locked up for and what is her situation as it pertains to going to court. take a look, and then I'll give my piece.
Dana Warren, the woman charged after issuing a threat against the police in a viral video following the fatal shooting of Othniel Loban, is set to go to trial on April 24. Ms. Warren, who is 22 years old and of Maypen, Clarendon, was charged with malicious communication. Her trial date was set yesterday when she appeared in the St. Catherine Parish Court. She was also further remanded. It's alleged that on January 23, the accused posted to her TikTok account that police personnel who fatally shot Loban, also called Tickman, and One Daddy Badness, will be attacked. She was arrested following an investigation which led police to Maypen.
So people, you heard what the professional said. She was locked up for malicious communication, inciting violence, especially against the police. She was a criminal facilitator of Tickman. That means that she was defending Tickman and saying that he was taken out unjustifiably so. And the police is going to get theirs. It is going to be reprisal. Now, people, while I agree that people like these should be locked up and never see the light of day again for inciting violence, I am a bit confused as to who gets bail, who qualifies for bail. Because when you look at the fact that most of these criminal elements, most of these gunmen, most of these dons, they were actually out on bail when they were either taken out by the opposition or the police. So if they themselves are committing actual murders, multiple, and they get bail, how is it that somebody that is just, well, not just because it is violence against the police or violence against anyone? She is just an inciter. She is just a labbermouth. I do not know or do not think that she was going to be out there defending Tickman and picking up any sorts of gun and challenging the police. However, word is a very dangerous thing. So therefore, if you're inciting violence and inciting other knuckleheads like yourself to go pick up a gun and challenge the police, even though we know that the gunmen usually end up on the shitty end of the stick, end up at Schitt's Creek without a paddle. But me just say, which one is worse? How is it that these gunmen that are actually doing the do is getting bail, but this lady that is just inciting and not just inciting violence against the police? Is it that the police lives are more important than the regular average civilian? Or is it that both persons are supposed to be reprimanded, locked up forever, not ever to see the light of day? However, people, this is Jamaica. We are confused, dazed, and the rest that is bad. Point blank and period.
I don't see this, but SLS, SSL, where the people are saying about money, them rename the company. When I watch out, nobody can invest the money in no more scheme. It get out of hand.
So the next thing that is popping in the news, based on the video that we just saw, is that the property in which the SSL, notorious fraud Ponzi scheme company that stole in excess of $12 million from USAIN Bolt, in excess of probably about $4 billion from about 200 clients or victims. They have now sold the property or rented the property to our next investment company, like you saw the sign out there. Now, people, there's a thing that is called timing is everything. And the fact that Usain Bolt lost his money, and the fact that he lost his father a couple of days ago or a day or so ago. Most companies with any sorts of morals, any sorts of scruples, especially an investment company located in America or any first world country, would try to stay away from a property like that. However, other person, just like when that Kevin Smith master lost his life, other person try to take up place and try to get all of his customers, all of his clients. So I don't know if that is a frame of thought that this other company thought that it is convenient, it is a nice building, it is already set up for what we want to do. However, sometimes you have to say to yourself, make this pass because of the bitter taste that is in the mouth of most persons. You do not or should not want to be associated with anything that have to do with anything that includes fraud, include SSL. However, people, like me tell you, in Jamaica, these people have very low morals, low ethics. They have little conscience. It is all about money. It is all about the come up. So therefore, they are not going to think and say, well, Usain Bolt, a national treasure, lost 12 point something million US dollars. Maybe we should not want our company's name be associated with anything, including the building, including the brand, including the location. But when it comes to Jamaica, all we do is rotate these criminals. I would never ever invest in any company in a Jamaica stock market or whatever it is, because I do not have confidence in the government, and that includes JLP or PNP. And it is proven that there is no company, nobody in Jamaica that can stand up to these high-profile criminals and their high-profile lawyers. They will take your money and they will even take you out if you talk too much. And nobody in anybody, including the government body, is going to do anything. And it is obvious by the fact that Usain Bolt can be robbed along with 200 other victims, and nothing comes out of that. So therefore, if these people have the audacity to rob Usain Bolt and don't give him no sort of thought, no explanation about the money, what say you and I, the average Joe or Jane? We are pretty much FUCKED. Me just tell you, this was a very inappropriate action by this company to take over that building with that reputation that is there, and that it is staying for life. And this company should also be staying for life. Just my opinion, point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.